Hey guys, this is Miss Harrington, and we are going to go over activity pages 4.2 that have to deal with character traits. So we know that when we're talking about character traits, these are words that may describe a character's physical description, maybe what they look like, but also they're going to describe their personality. So what we like to call those inner traits, things that you can't really see, but you get to know about a character based on things that they do, things that they say, thoughts and feelings that they have. So today we're looking at the character Sancho Panza. So in this first box, physical description, so based on the details that were given on what this character looks like, you may have come up with something like this: a poor farmer who is short and stout. So this is information we can get from the text. This would be details from the text of what this character may look like. So now we want to look at the first character trait box. Now in these boxes, you want to focus on those inner traits, things that we may not be able to see about a character, but once we get to know the character, these are things that we may use to describe them, words we may use to describe them. So one word might be realistic. He's a realistic character. He knows what's really going on. He can see things for the way that they are. So in the boxes to the side, this is where you're going to provide evidence, details from the text that make us believe that he's realistic. So some of the evidence that you could have found could have come from pages 10 and 13. It tells you here he sees windmills rather than the giants Don Quixote sees. He sees a barber wearing a basin rather than the enchanted helmet Don Quixote sees. So he sees what's really there versus what other characters see that's actually not really there. Also, you could have gotten evidence from pages 16, 17, and 21. He realizes that Don Quixote is strange sometimes. He's suspicious when Don Quixote is put into the cage, and he realizes they won't be able to find Dulcinea because she doesn't exist. Again, he knows that these things aren't really there, which again makes him realistic. From page 33, he realizes that Don Quixote ruined Master Peter's puppets and promises that he will pay for the damage. So that's realistic. You know, when you break something, you have to do something to fix it. Pages 37 through 38 and also 41 and 43. He's skeptical, like he's kind of questioning, of going on the flying horse. He understands he is not a different person simply because he wears different clothes. He realizes that he will never be able to remember all the pieces of advice that Don Quixote is giving him. So again, there's that word realizes. This is something he realizes because he's realistic. Pages 45 and then 50 through 51. He finds a good solution to the dispute presented to him. He realizes that he is happier with a simpler life than being governor of the island. And then the last piece of evidence you may have found come from pages 53 and 54. He realizes that he is happier living his old life rather than any new position the Duke could give him. He realizes they need to have money to stay in inns while they travel because they may not be able to find many palaces in which to stay. So again, these are all pieces of evidence that show us this particular character is a realistic character. So that's one word you may have come up with to describe Sancho Panza. So a couple of other possible character traits you could have come up with. One would be loyal, and the last would be wise. So for loyal, some evidence to prove that this character is loyal from pages 9 and 14. He leaves his family and travels with Don Quixote. He stays with Don Quixote when the angry prisoners throw stones at them after they are freed and as the guards thrash them without mercy. So he's loyal to Don Quixote because number one, he leaves his family and then he stays with them even though he's being hurt. Another page or pages that you may have found some text evidence would be 18 and 21. He tells his wife that he believes he will find the island the next time he and Don Quixote go on an adventure. He tries to see Don Quixote for a month, although repeatedly turned away by the priest and the barber. He continues to travel with Don Quixote, although he knows he is strange sometimes, and he agrees to find Dulcinea, although he knows she doesn't exist. So he's loyal to his friend. He stays with him. He wants to travel with him, even though perhaps he may not necessarily agree with all of the things that Don Quixote is doing. And then the last character trait you may have come up with, again, being that he is wise. So you may have found evidence from pages 41, 45, 46, 49, or 50, and you may have found this evidence. He understands changing his clothing will not change the type of person that he is. He finds a good solution to the dispute between the tailor and the man requesting the capes. He realizes the doctor's advice about not eating does not make sense. He realizes that he cannot fly when he's tied up with the shields, and he realizes he is happier with his old life and not the life of a governor. So all of these things that he understands about himself shows that he is a wise character.